What if I told you that any woman, no matter how uninterested she seems, can be drawn to you? It sounds outrageous, doesn't it? Society tells men to accept rejection, to play it safe, to respect the vibe. But here's the cold, hard truth. Women aren't always as disinterested as they appear. Sometimes their lack of interest is just a shield, a reflex, or even a test. The reality is that most men fail to attract women not because they're unattractive, but because they don't understand the psychology of attraction. It's not about looks, it's not about money, and it's definitely not about trying to force something unnatural. Attraction is about creating an irresistible emotional and psychological connection, one that makes her genuinely curious about you, even if her first reaction was a no. But here's where most men mess up. They focus too much on impressing women instead of understanding them. They try too hard, seem desperate, or worse, give up entirely. What you need is a strategic approach, one that works even when the odds are against you. Let me make one thing clear. This is not about manipulation. It's about unlocking your natural magnetism and projecting a version of yourself that commands attention. Women are biologically wired to respond to certain behaviors, attitudes, and energy in a man, whether they realize it or not. And when you understand how to tap into those primal instincts, everything changes. This video will teach you how to move past her initial disinterest and make her want to know more about you. From mastering body language to creating an aura of mystery, and even using her own psychology to spark attraction, every tactic I'll share with you today is rooted in understanding, not trickery. If you've ever felt like you couldn't stand out or thought she was out of your league, it's time to erase those doubts. By the end of this, you'll have the tools to captivate any woman, no matter how indifferent she seems. Let's dive in. Most men misunderstand a woman's initial no. Society has conditioned us to think that rejection is absolute, but in reality, it's often situational. A no might mean she's distracted, testing your confidence, or unsure of your intentions. Women naturally guard their interest because they want to filter out the inauthentic and weak-minded. Her first reaction might not reflect her true feelings. It's a reflex, not a verdict. Think of it like this. Women respect men who can handle rejection with grace and confidence. If you crumble at the first sign of disinterest, it only confirms that you're not worth her time. But if you respond calmly and maintain your composure, she starts to notice something different about you. You stand out because you didn't take her reaction personally. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and you approach a woman to strike up a conversation. She seems polite but dismissive, saying, "I'm not looking for anything." Instead of retreating, you casually reply, "That's great. I wasn't offering anything. I just thought you seemed interesting, and I wanted to say hi." Now you've subtly shifted the dynamic. You didn't argue or pressure her. You neutralized the rejection and turned it into an opportunity for intrigue. The key here is not being pushy, but showing that her initial response doesn't define your self-worth. Women are drawn to men who remain steady and composed even in the face of resistance. A genuine, lighthearted response can disarm her and create a spark of curiosity. Understanding that no doesn't always mean no changes everything. It's not about forcing her to change her mind, it's about showing her why she should. Attraction often requires persistence, but not the desperate, overbearing kind that turns women off. Confident persistence is about showing genuine interest without coming across as needy or insecure. Women admire men who know what they want and aren't afraid to pursue it, calmly, respectfully, and with purpose. The truth is, many women test a man's confidence by pretending not to be interested. It's not cruel, it's instinct. They want to see if you're someone who folds under pressure or rises to the occasion. Confident persistence demonstrates resilience, emotional strength, and self-assurance, all traits women find irresistible. Here's how it works in action. Let's say you've met someone at a party and she's not giving you much attention. Instead of retreating or over-explaining yourself, you play it cool. You engage others in the room, build a natural rapport with the group, and occasionally circle back to her with light, witty comments. Over time, she notices your confidence and ease in handling the situation. You're not chasing her. You're simply creating opportunities to connect. This persistence isn't about pushing her boundaries. It's about showing you're someone worth her time. The key is to balance persistence with self-respect. If she's genuinely not interested after you've displayed confidence and effort, you walk away with dignity intact. But if she's intrigued by your unwavering poise, she'll start seeing you in a different light. Confident persistence isn't about forcing a connection. It's about staying composed, being consistent, and showing her that you're not easily discouraged. When done right, it shifts the power dynamic, making her realize you're the kind of man who stands firm, even in the face of challenges. Attraction isn't built on logic, it's rooted in emotion. Women respond to how you make them feel, not what you say or do on the surface. This is where most men go wrong. They focus on presenting their accomplishments, looks, or status. But none of that matters if you can't spark an emotional reaction. Think about it. The men women are drawn to aren't always the richest or best looking. Instead, they're the ones who know how to create an emotional connection. This could be through humor, intrigue, or even a sense of shared understanding. Women remember how a man makes them feel above all else. To master emotional triggers, you need to understand what drives women's attention and curiosity. It's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's about tapping into their natural desires for excitement, safety, and mystery. A playful tease, a shared moment of vulnerability, or even the confidence to challenge her perspective can leave a lasting impression. Relatability is key. Women aren't looking for perfection, they're looking for authenticity. When you open up emotionally in a confident and controlled way, you signal that you're self-aware and emotionally intelligent. Women are drawn to this because it's rare. On the flip side, emotional triggers can also come from unpredictability. Not being overly available, leaving room for curiosity, and keeping her wondering about your next move all create an emotional charge. Predictable men often fade into the background, while those who can evoke a mix of excitement and comfort stand out. The art of emotional triggers is about understanding what makes women feel alive. It's not about manipulation. It's about genuinely connecting on a deeper level and sparking emotions they didn't even realize they craved. Let's face it, too many men lay all their cards on the table from the start. They overshare, overcommit, and try way too hard to impress, thinking it will win her over. Here's the harsh truth. Women lose interest quickly when there's nothing left to discover. Mystery isn't just attractive, it's essential. If you're the guy constantly texting, revealing every detail about your life, and chasing her attention, you've already lost. Why? Because you've robbed her of the thrill of getting to know you. Women are naturally curious creatures, drawn to the unknown. When you reveal everything up front, you leave no room for intrigue, and she moves on to someone who does. Here's where most men need to wake up. Being mysterious isn't about playing games or being distant. It's about pacing what you share, creating tension, and letting her wonder what's going on in your mind. If you're too predictable, you become boring, but when you keep her guessing, you keep her invested. Men often forget that attraction is a two-way street. She needs to feel like she's earning your attention, not just receiving it on a silver platter. Stop trying to prove yourself at every turn. Instead, focus on building an aura of quiet confidence. Speak less, listen more, and let your actions speak for you. Women are attracted to men who have layers, who are harder to figure out, and who challenge them to think. If you're not cultivating a sense of mystery, you're missing out on one of the most powerful tools in the attraction game. Stop being an open book. Keep her curious, keep her intrigued, and let her feel the excitement of peeling back your layers. That's how you win, not by trying harder, but by making her want to know more. One of the biggest mistakes men make is chasing women. Chasing sends a clear message. You're putting her on a pedestal and begging for her approval. This dynamic is not only unattractive, but also exhausting for both you and her. Women don't want to be chased, they want to be led. Leadership is one of the most magnetic traits a man can have. It doesn't mean being bossy or controlling. It means being decisive, confident, and in control of your own life. When you lead, you create an environment where she feels safe, intrigued, and inspired to follow. Think about this. Women are naturally drawn to men who seem to have direction, purpose, and a clear sense of who they are. If you're constantly seeking her validation or running after her attention, you're signaling that you lack these qualities. On the other hand, if you're focused on your goals, making your own decisions, and inviting her to join you on your journey, you project strength and independence, qualities that women can't resist. Men need to stop putting women at the center of their universe. It's not your job to convince her to like you. It's your job to show her why following your lead is exciting and worth her time. Stop seeking approval and start setting the tone. Invite her into your world instead of desperately trying to fit into hers. Chasing is reactive. Leading is proactive. Women notice the difference. When you lead, you become the man who sets the pace, creates opportunities, and exudes a quiet, undeniable confidence. And when you embody that energy, she won't just follow. You'll become the man she never wants to let go of. Disinterest doesn't mean you're out of the game. It means you haven't caught her attention yet. The secret? Shift your focus from impressing her to intriguing her. Instead of over-explaining yourself or seeking her approval, become the man who stands out by being confident, unpredictable, and unapologetically yourself. Create moments of curiosity by doing less, not more. Be mysterious, ask thoughtful questions, and let her wonder about you. Women are naturally drawn to men who challenge them emotionally and intellectually. If she's disinterested now, give her a reason to lean in and uncover the layers she didn't see at first. Here's the hard truth most men don't want to hear. If you think she's out of your league, you've already lost. Attraction isn't about leagues. It's about understanding dynamics, owning your value, and showing up as the man she didn't even know she was waiting for. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for a man who understands them better than they understand themselves. And yes, that's a skill you can master. The strategies we've discussed aren't about manipulation. They're about becoming a man who naturally draws women in. It's time to stop waiting for luck, stop blaming women, and take control of the way you present yourself to the world. The power is in your hands. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt invisible or rejected? What did you do to turn things around? Or did you walk away? Share your stories in the comments below. I'll be reading them, responding, and maybe even sharing some deeper insights with you directly. Because this isn't just a video, it's a conversation. Together, we're not just improving your chances with women, we're changing the way you approach life. So let's talk.